Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm going to show you how I made this Congolese fried dough we call mikate in the Congo. Okay guys, so we're going to need some orange. Here I was trying to show the slide of what I'm going to use, guys. Bear with me. I'm learning this. I have a certain idea of how I want my video to look. So thank you for allowing me to share my learning journey with you while I'm teaching you what I love to do. Okay, so let's get started. So here I'm measuring the sugar. It's important that you do this stage. So we are going to mix the sugar with the orange zest, and always zest your orange straight on top of the sugar so that you won't lose any other, the essential oil that come down with the zest. If you do this on the side, they mix together, just mix them on top. Okay, zest your orange on top of the sugar. And once this is done, we are going to mix this well. So I'm just using a spatula to squeeze and mix all that wonderful zest within the sugar until it's all combined, and it will end up with this beautiful bright orange color like that. And yeah, we know this is done, and then we are going to set this aside. After mixing it well, we are going to set this aside for 5 minutes so it can continue infusing these wonderful flavors into the sugar. Okay, don't skip this stage. This will you will end up with mikate bursting with flavors, guys. Okay, you can be doing other stuff. Like now, while it's setting, I'm just juicing the oranges, and I'm just juicing like 2, but you will see the measurement. I'm not going to use all these 2. The measurement, the recipe, everything will be down in the description below. Okay, so now we're going to start with the eggs. So now we are, oopsie daisy. Yeah, that happened. Okay, so we are just adding first the wet ingredient together. So we are adding the eggs to the orange sugar mixture. Okay, then now we are going to measure the juice. Remember the juice we just made early, so we are going to measure here. And again, don't worry about the measurement. Everything, the complete recipe is down in the description below. Okay, so add that in. And then we are going to add the yogurt. So I use Greek yogurt, and this is full fat yogurt. I'm just mixing it because yogurt set when it's in the fridge, so I'm just mixing it so that everything is nice and mixed before I measure it. And you can use any yogurt as long as it's flavorless, just 100% natural yogurt. I've never tried with fat free, or I don't know, half and half. I always use buy full fat yogurt in my house, so you can experiment with all these other yogurts. So we're going to add them in, and then before we get mixing, I'm just going to prep the flour, but we're not going to add it in yet. And we are using self-raising flour, and this is why these are called yeast-free donut, or yeast-free mikate, or yeast-free puff. Okay, this is what gives them the raising effect that we always get from the the yeasted traditional ones. Okay, so while the flour is inside, we are going to start mixing the wet ingredient. So don't worry about the lumps that you see there from the yogurt. Continue adding this. These will disappear by the time we are finished with this dough. Okay, add in your flour at about 3 stages. So you'll see this recipe called for 2 cups of flour, and I will add this in about 3 stages. Add in, mix well, and when it's just about combined, keep on adding. Okay, so I'm taking my next cup of flour, I'm mixing again to make sure the previous one that I added is combined, and it's fine. Don't worry about the lumps at this stage. Just what we are trying to achieve here is to make sure all the ingredients are in the bowl, then we will start the smoothing part. Okay, so we are adding in the rest of the flour. and then give this a gentle mix just to make it nice and combined. Okay, so we are going to add in the rest of the ingredient, which is water. You can also use milk if you like. Okay, so just fold that water in until everything is combined before we can start now mixing this properly. Okay, can you see how this dough look like? Keep an eye on that. We're going to start mixing it until we get a nice and elastic dough. Okay, so yeah, we're going to start beating this up. I don't know how I can describe this. I don't know if you've made fufu. This is how you make it. So you are pulling the dough toward the ball towards you, and you are beating it on the ball as you are pulling it toward you, if that makes sense, guys. So you pull the dough toward you, beating it against the ball toward you, and you can see the dough has turned nice and elastic. This takes about 2 to 3 minutes or less, really. If you have just used some power there, pull, beat it against the ball, and can you see that elasticity? That's what you want to achieve. Okay, and you can achieve this within 2 minutes, to be honest. 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take long. It doesn't need over beating. Okay, pull it, beat it against the ball towards you. Pull, beat it against the ball towards you. That's how best I can explain this, guys. But you can see you don't need to turn this elastic. No lump, no nothing, nice and smooth. So what we're going to do now, we are going to cover this with either a kitchen towel or a clean film, and then allow this to rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, just to allow the gluten to form, because you've been beating it, dealing with it. Let it rest. Okay, this is 10 minutes later. I have my station here prep. I have my oil, I have the dough which has been resting, and then in that green bowl I have some water to touch, to allow me to touch it, then touch the dough to put it in the oil. Okay, like that. So here I was testing my oil. Normally if the oil is hot enough, the dough could have come up by now, but it took a little bit, few moments, which showed that the oil wasn't hot already yet. You will see what I mean with the next one coming. It should just take about a few seconds. It's up already. You see how what it's doing? I just drop it in, about 2 seconds is up. That means the oil is ready. So my stove goes up to 9. I'm cooking this on 6. I don't know the exact temperature of the oil because I did not measure it. I have a thermometer somewhere in the house. I couldn't find it. We are cooking on a medium highish kind of heat. Make sure it's not too hot, because if it's too hot, then your burn will start burning before it cook properly inside. If it's not hot enough, they will stick down on your pan and absorb oil. So I don't know how I can explain this. Just a medium heat. The secret is try one. If it comes up straight away, your oil is ready. Okay, so we are going to fry these for about 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes ish there, until they are nice and they have a deep golden brown color. Okay, and another thing I always do when I make mikate, if you are not sure, when it's starting to look like a dark brown color, like it's coming up now, remove one, open it, and check if it's done inside. If it's not, then leave the rest in there, let them continue to cook. That's what I always do. Okay, you have to keep on turning them, obviously, so that the bottom also, so that they can get a uniform color. Oh, they are looking so good. Okay, so I'm just removing one, as I mentioned earlier. If you're not sure, always remove one. Check it out. Ooh, look at that bright color. They are ready. It's nice and cooked. So we're going to remove them and place them on the bowl, which I've already put a kitchen towel on to absorb the excess oil. Okay, So we are going to repeat the same thing until we finish all the dough. And here, I don't know if you can see properly. Sorry guys, I'm filming with my phone. I couldn't bring it closer to show you how I'm grabbing the dough and putting it in the oil. So what I'm doing, I wet my hand a little bit and then I'm trying to grab from a ball with my 4 fingers and then push it down with my thumb, if that makes sense. Okay, don't worry if you can't get to them being round. I remember it took me a while to get to even this stage, although they still have a little horns and tail here and there, but at least they look browner than the stage I were when I started making this. Okay, it's take practice, but yeah. You can also use a nice cream scooper if you have one. I have one, but somehow I prefer my hand. And these are ready. This is our last stage. I think this was the last dough. Ooh, it's looking so good, guys. These are my weakness. If you decide to try this, please do and come and let us know how they turns out for you. And if you are here this far, please subscribe, invite others too. Ooh, I went ahead and dust them with some icing sugar, and you can also use chocolate or anything of your choice. Give them a beautiful taste. Ooh, they were so good. Thank you for watching, guys.